guys, today we're going to read two more chapters from Old Ben. So far we've found out that Shan, our main character, has found an old black snake and he's put it in the corn bin on his family's farm. And they have, so far, it kind of accepted him, even his dad. Except the dog. We're going to find out about old Blackie. Alright, this is called A Member of the Family. As the weeks progressed, old Ben became a member of the family. Every day, Shan and his mother and his father went to the corn bin to see him and bring him fresh milk. Even Blackie had come to accept him. Ward came almost every day, too. "I'm looking for a pet black snake all the time," he told Shan. "I've talked to my father about it. Now that I know old Ben, I'm not afraid of black snakes." Afternoons, when Shan went to bring the cows home, he often took old Ben with him. He would carry his pet until they found the cows and then let him crawl all the way back home. He knew old Ben needed exercise, and he thought old Ben would like to hear the summer sounds over the pasture fields and feel the cool wind blowing over his long body as he crawled through the green grass. A wonderful thing had happened. Now, not a cow in the herd was afraid of old Ben. They had seen him so often riding on Shan's shoulders that they no longer ran from him. Once Daisy came up and stuck her nose close to old Ben on Shan's shoulder. When she sniffed and made a loud sound, old Ben was more scared than she was. One afternoon, when the cows had wandered to the far side of the pasture to the shade of the willows, Shan had to go in the direction of the clover path where he first met old Ben. This time he did not put his pet down on the ground. "Old Ben," he said, "I believe you know this path. If I were to put you down here, I wonder if you would crawl away and leave me. You're getting heavy and you're warm around my neck, but I'm still going to carry you." That day, as he put old Ben back in the corn bin, he said, "You're really going to stay, aren't you? You love your home and you love me and I love you." Old Ben slid to the floor and disappeared into the corn. Shan was sure he was content with his home. As Shan came out of the corn bin, he saw his mother and father walking toward in the barn lot. Ward was very excited. "Ward has found something," Shan's mother said. "Let's go see what it is." "It's up on the sandstone cliff," Ward said. "I'm not sure what it is." Everyone followed Ward up the barnyard slope to the cliff. Near the top, Ward stopped. "There," he said, pointing to a spot where he had been digging. "There's a nest of eggs in the hole." On the ground near the hole was a very white egg. Shan reached down and picked it up. "What is it?" "There are 6 more in there," Ward said. I'm wondering what he's found too. "Don't either of you know what it is?" Shan's father asked. "I'm surprised. You two know so much about the wildlife around here. That's a black snake's nest." "Black snake?" Ward cried. "I didn't know they laid eggs," Shan said. "Well, the rattlesnake and copperhead have their young like a cow has her calf," his father said. "But a black snake lays eggs." "And boys," Shan's mother said, "look what a nice place this old mother black snake has chosen. Here in the dry, warm sand where the sun hits. The sun warms the sand and this hatches the eggs." "Everything is according to its nature," Shan's father said. "Everything that walks, flies, or crawls has its own way of life." Ward put the egg back in the warm sand and covered the nest over now. "Uncle Mick, maybe old Ben has a wife out here someplace," Ward said. "Do you think he could, Father?" Shan asked. "Well, I hadn't thought of it, but he could have. I've been noticing tracks around the corn bin lately. I think he's getting out, maybe at night. Snakes do travel at night." "I don't care if he goes out at night," Shan said, "just as long as he comes back." "Well, it worries me just the same," his father said. "I'll have to bring the horses in soon, and they don't know old Ben, and I don't want him to stray toward the hog lot." Remember, he said his dad had said that hogs do not like snakes. All right, the next chapter is called Asleep in the Feed Box. Late in August, Shan's father brought the horses, old Kate and old Fred, back to the barn stalls. They have work to do, he told Shan. They need to be fed corn. Now watch over old Ben, see that he doesn't get out in the barn lot. I don't want him spooking the horses. If old Kate and old Fred knew old Ben, they'd like him, Shan said. Well, old Ben is too friendly with everything, his father said. On the third day, after the horses had returned, Shan took them out to the water hole to let them drink. He rode old Fred back and led old Kate. When they reached the barn, he dismounted and pulled old Fred's bridle off and let him go back into his stall. Then he removed old Kate's bridle. She followed old Fred into the barn and went to her stall. As Shan began to close the door, the horse put his nose down into the feed box. Suddenly, old Fred jumped so high, his head hit the barn loft. He let out a wild snort. Then he turned around in his stall and began kicking the feed box. Old Fred was wilder than Shan had ever seen him. As Shan watched, he kicked the feed box loose from the manger. The feed box flew up into the air, and out of it tumbled old Ben. As soon as old Ben hit the floor, he began crawling away in a hurry. Old Fred came out of the barn door past Shan and ran a circle in the barn loft, snorting every breath. And I know you can picture that in your mind. I think old Ben scared that horse to death. Shan watched in horror, but old Ben ran on the ground like a black streak and headed for the corn bin. He lifted his head and then his long body up the outside wall of the bin. His head went through a crack between the boards and his long body followed. Shan ran back to the house to tell his father what had happened. Until I turn the horses back into the pasture, old Ben better stay out of the barn, his father said. They'll stomp him if they catch him. Old Ben can run faster, Father. When that box went up in the air, old Ben went higher. As soon as he hit the barn floor, he was running. They wouldn't have caught him. Shan, one of the horses could pick old Ben up on the ground in a very short distance. I don't care how fast he can run. A horse is faster than a snake. I think I know why old Ben is getting out of the corn bin. Why? Shan asked. You know, son, we don't hear mice in the corn anymore. Old Ben has caught them all. He's going into the hay in the barn loft hunting for more. When a snake gets a big meal, he wants to take a nap afterwards. On a hot day like this, old Fred's feed box seemed like a nice place to coil up and go to sleep. What are we going to do, Father? I don't want old Ben killed, Shan said. I don't either, his father said. That snake has saved me hundreds of dollars in this summer. Mice destroy a lot of corn, and mice can do damage in hay. When our cows smell hay, a mouse has been in, they won't even eat it. Maybe we should never have put old Ben to work for us. But now, I'm going to let him clear out the barn lot. I'll take the horses back to their pasture. I'll wait until October to haul the logs. Good, Shan said. By that time, old Ben will have found himself a place to sleep for the winter. There are the horses. It looks like they've calmed down now. I bet that was very scary for Shan, seeing his pet treated like that. So next time we're going to find out. We're coming to the end of our book, and next time we're going to find out what are they going to do with old Ben when the weather starts cooling off. So, hope you enjoyed this chapter. Love you guys and miss you lots.